Hi guys, Mark here with Wolters World, and we're in beautiful Savannah, Georgia, in Forsyth Park. There's the fountain right behind me, which turns green at St. Patrick's Day, and many people turn green that day as well here. But I don't think it's from the water. I think it's from something else they're drinking. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today is the GAPS model. Basically, looking at comparing what clients are expecting from companies and their services versus what they actually receive. Okay. Now, there's four main kind of gaps that come about: a knowledge gap is one we talk about, a standards gap, a delivery gap, and a communications gap. Okay, and so what we're going to do is go through each of these gaps that are out there, and basically look at some ways that we can help eliminate these gaps so our customers will be happier with our services. Okay. Now, the first one we have is what's called the knowledge gap, and this is the difference between what customers expect and what the firm thinks the customers expect. Okay, I mean, if you think about it, if you're going to Disneyland or if you're going to a hotel, you're thinking of certain things are going to be there, and the hotel may think, well, we think they want this, this, and this, and you think, oh no, I think this, this, and this, and there's going to be a gap between the two. Okay, now if you're looking to go into high-end hotels, like if I'm going to a nice hotel, I'm expecting valet parking, I'm expecting the concierge that'll give me tickets to the best shows, I'm expecting high-speed internet for free, all kinds of things. And when I don't get these things, no matter how nice my experience is, if there is this gap, this difference between what I expected to have and what I did get, I can be kind of disappointed. And you'll see that in movies. The movie you expect to be horrible and is okay, you think it's great. The movie you expect to be great and is only okay, you're disappointed. Kind of goes into that. Okay. Now, how do we deal with this when we're a firm? Well, the first thing you need to do is do your market research. Okay. Find out about your customers and find out what are your customers' expectations of their experience there, and realize that their expectations will deal with their previous knowledge and their previous experience dealing with your type of service. Okay. Also, when you're looking at this, you have to evaluate your own service quality. So look at your service quality. I mean, is it reliable? Okay. Are you giving the same things again and again? Are you responsive to the customers? Are you empathetic to their problems? I mean, are you giving them tangible results? So if there is an issue, the remote control isn't working, are you giving them a new remote control or giving them a new room? Something they can kind of hold on to in a way that shows that you're actually trying to do something. You do that, you can help out, okay? But the first one is the knowledge gap, the difference between what customers are expecting and what the firm thinks they're expecting, okay, just in general. Now, the second gap is called the standards gap, okay? This is the difference between the service standards that customers are expecting and the service standards that they actually get when they go there. Okay, so if you go into a hotel room, your service standards that you're expecting are, you expect a clean bed, you expect no floaters in the toilet, okay, you expect certain things, all right? Now, to make sure we don't have any problems here, what companies need to do is work on setting up systems so the same standards are kept up all the time. That's why if you go to hotels, or if you go into a restaurant, they have that little sheet in the bathroom that says, okay, at 1 o'clock it was checked by John, at 2 o'clock it was checked by Marie, at 3 o'clock it was checked by Frank. It has these things. You set those systems up so the service standards are up to what people are expecting. Also, you need to train your people to, basically achieve those standards, okay? So training becomes a big deal, and especially in service in general, a lot of these things will be dealt with training. So you can't expect people to know what kick-ass service is if you don't explain it to them, because people can have a lot of different definitions of what good customer service is, okay? The third gap in the gap model is what's called the delivery gap. This is the difference between basically the promised service that's out there and the actual service that is delivered to customers. So if you think about it, if you're ordering flowers, okay, you go there and you're like, okay, they tell me that they're going to, get my flowers for my mom on Mother's Day. Think about it. Your mom gets flowers on Mother's Day, you're a wonderful son. If your mother gets flowers on the day after Mother's Day, you're a horrible son that only remembered after everyone told you what a horrible son you were the day before. So obviously there's going to be some issues there. All right. Now, for a company, if there are issues that what we basically people are expecting us to do and what we do aren't linking up, what can we do? Well, one thing you can do is empower your employees. Okay. If we're at a hotel and they're not delivering on their promises of a clean room or a functioning room or a great TV or whatever, empower your employees to let them switch them rooms, okay? Because no one wants to go downstairs and have to go, well, I need to call my manager. Well, where's the manager? Oh, he's on break. He'll be back in a half an hour. Well, that doesn't help me when my kid needs to take a nap or my kid's got to poop and, we need a bathroom and you can't get me into a room. Okay, these kind of things. So empower your employees to be able to make decisions. That will help, shrink in that delivery gap so you can fix things. Okay. Another thing is use technology to standardize the delivery of your products. That's why ATMs have become so popular. There's no variability in the service. Everything's the same thing again and again. So the delivery, hey, I know I put my card in, I put my PIN number in, I ask for the amount of money, it comes out, I walk away, we're all happy. Hey, there's no problems with the delivery there. Okay. Other things you need to do in terms of making sure the delivery of your service works is be supportive of your employees. If they're trying to do things, you give them a pat on the back, you can do it stuff. Have coherent management that's consistently telling the same thing. This is what good customer service is. This is what customer service is. Deliver on that. Deliver on that. Well, that helps them know what they need to be doing. Also, if you see one of your employees delivering great customer service, reward them. That's why you have Employee of the Month and all these kind of things, because then people see this is what you need to do to deliver the services that people are expecting. Okay, and the fourth is the communication gap. This is basically the gap between the promises that we make as a company and what is actually delivered to our customers. Now, it sounds very similar to the delivery gap, but the delivery gap is more dealing with I don't know, how do you say it, the promise service standards, whereas the communication gap is overall promises that we all are offering people. Okay? Now, the thing is, if you look at this, the communication gap, basically FedEx, they promise, look, we'll get your package there overnight, guaranteed. It's going to happen. All right, fantastic. That's great. So you expect it to be there. If it's not, then you're upset. That's why FedEx knows that, hey, we don't want to have this communication gap. Our promise of getting the next day is dependent on everything. Because if we don't deliver that, then no one will ever trust us again. Okay, so we don't want that to happen. So, and that's one of the things, if you look at the infomercials at night for the P90Xs or the Weight Watchers or whatever, they'll go through their whole spiel, okay? But what they say is, look, you do this for 90 days and follow the diet, because they show the exercise stuff for most of the half hour. When they mention, and then there's the diet plan you got to follow. Guys, the diet plan is one of the big things that has to happen for you to get those benefits. And that's why you need consumer compliance. You need to let consumers know what they need to do to make sure that this service actually works, okay? And so you don't have this communication gap. Some things you need to do is, one, manage customer expectations. Don't promise them they're going to lose 50 pounds in a month, because that's an extreme case. Give them realistic expectations of what can help. That's why they say, okay, you could have these results, but results aren't typical. They show those things. They tell people these things, okay? Also, only promise what you can deliver. If you can't deliver it, don't promise it. Don't say, we'll have it to you tonight. If you can't have it there, don't. Say, okay, we'll have it to you in a few days. That's fine. Also, make sure you communicate the service expectations of your clients, what they're going to need. Look, for your guarantee to work, you need to actually use the whole package. You need to follow the diet. If you didn't, then too bad, okay? You need to put all those things out there. Now, when you have these gaps, you obviously want to fix things if things go wrong. So basically, what are some things we can do to unscrew up? How we can, shrink those gaps between our, the promises and the not delivered promises and all these things. Well, one thing, you need to listen to your clients. Listen to what their problems are and what they didn't like and what they did like, and fix them. Okay? And when you listen to your customers, you're going to find out more of what's going on, so you can find out ways to improve it for their next experience or the next person that comes. Also, the second thing is resolve the problems that you find and that they let you know about quickly. Okay? I know I was trying to pay my AT&T bill a few months ago, and I tried to use the automatic system on my phone, and it kept not working, so I kept getting knocked to a person. And the person will try it again. I'm like, I already did. And they get knocked me back again. And after half an hour of them keep sending me back to people, I said, no, just do it yourself. Finally, they did it, and it took them 10 seconds. Now, instead of me being happy and them fixing it the first time to do it on their own for 10 seconds, they now had me waste half an hour, which on an iPhone, will take your entire battery. This is an iPhone 3, so it's an old one, okay? But also now I have a bad taste in my mouth from my AT&T experience. And you look at this and say, man, if they just would have hurried up and fixed the problem quickly, if they could have done it themselves, we wouldn't have these issues. Okay? And the third thing is provide an equitable solution. Okay? Basically, fix the problem and make sure it's fair to them and to yourself, because you can't give them the world. You can't say, your remote control isn't working. Okay, we're going to give you the President's Suite. No. But you can, offer them, another room, a new remote control. If the TV's that important and they're that upset, give them a discount in your room, because you don't want to be, people upset with your service and you're not doing something to make it better, not make it equitable. I know we were driving down here to Savannah. We stopped at a hotel. They were remodeling. The pool was closed. They wouldn't even look if there was a baby bed, and they wanted everyone to pay full price. I'm like, aren't you going to make some kind of concessions here? No. Okay, well, forget you. I'm not going back to you to Holiday Inn in Hodgkinsville, Tennessee, or Kentucky, or whatever. You get these things. You don't want that to happen, okay? So those are some ideas of basically what the gap model is. So the gap, the knowledge gap, the standards gap, the delivery gap, and the communication gaps. You want to make sure that these gaps are as small as possible so you have happy customers. And here's the crazy thing. If you actually beat the expectations, you can get customers that will be loyal to you for life. So I hope that helps you understand the GAPS model, and basically how you can unscrew up in some of these things. It was developed by Dr. Parsu, or Professor Parsu. He's got such a long name you can't actually say it. I have met the man. He's a very nice guy. I hope this video does him justice. But I hope that helps. And if you want to learn more about marketing or business or other things, or hey, visiting Savannah, Georgia, top 10 sites in Savannah, 5 things you love and hate about Savannah, come check us out at our website at www.woltersworld.com. And we're on Facebook and Twitter, so hope to see you there. Bye.